from Guiyang. So that's the starting. So in the same night, and we took the train with him and to a very, very remote mountainous village. I remember then they had a jeep early in the morning, pick me and Mr. Law. Then I follow him about 1 week and stay in many, many peasants' homes. Just talking about the peasants' home, they don't have bed. It's live in the dirt road, and the cot and the peasant live in the same room, and the room, is all leaking with a lot of holes, and they have some kind of stove. The smoke doesn't go out, so the smoke darken all the rooms, and the eyes is all red. But they are just really diligent every day early in the morning, and they went out to do the farming. They have to climb up the mountains for several hours and come down the mountains. It's very diligent farmers. The harvest is really barely enough for them to eat. That's really the first time I see what does it mean, so-called poverty. And it really struck me. I still remember I visited there for about 5 days. Then I went to Guiyang. I couldn't sleep all night. It's such a disparity. Actually, when I first went to Guiyang, I already thought, oh, this place is very poor. But compared to the peasants, the house I live, it's just like heaven. Or I would not say heaven. It's just this valley is so huge. Then, I flew to Los Angeles. I stayed in my sister's place in Los Angeles. They have swimming pool, and then I went to the supermarket. All the fruits is so big, like artificial. But it's such a cultural contrast. It's such a culture shock to me. Yeah, I just couldn't sleep almost for several nights. I really start to understand what this poverty means. And also I start to appreciate those people living in this kind of condition. And they still firmly believe using their own effort in such a hard condition, to do the farming to support their own life. And then we went to Zigen. Yeah, the Zigen is a mountainous region with 90% are the male minority groups. Yeah, and we visited many villages. At that time in 1990, for 7 to 12 years old, elementary school age, only about 27% of the girls are in the school, and for boys it's about 77%. Even this 27%, most of them are in the first grade and the second grade, and once to the third grade they drop out. So why so few girls are in the school? That's my question. I work with several people working in the Academy of Science and also with the Normal University, 4 of us, and went to Zigen to visit 10 villages and did a very extensive interview about why so few girls are in the school. And certainly before I went there, I already did a lot of research. Actually, at that time, Harvard just published a book. It's talking about why so few girls are in school. It's not only in China, it's worldwide. In many developing countries, it's the same thing. Why? They list 7 or 8 different reasons. So with that academic background in my mind, then I went there. Every reason so vividly in my eyes, okay? First of all, it's because economic reasons. The parents, they have to pay the school fees and the fees for the books. At that time, it's about $8 a year. But for the peasants, it's about $20 income a year. They have used this money to buy fertilizer, to buy seeds, to buy clothes, to buy oil, to buy all those things. It's very difficult for them to get $8 to send a child, no matter if it's boy or girl, to the school. So the school fees is just too high. They can't afford it. This is the first important reason. And of course, why they can send boys. Actually, I interviewed many boys. Their parents borrowed the money. One student told me her uncle just sold a pig, so they can borrow the money from his uncle and use this money as his tuition. So even for the boys, it's difficult too, but their family go out of their way, try to either borrow the money or try to sell whatever they can to get the cash, but they put the boys get the education as first priority.
You could see, mainly you see a lot of boys, right? It's because girls are usually, they can't afford to send this girl, so you will see more boys in a middle school And as you go to the high school, you will even see less girl. And that's a typical situation.
Why they send the boys and not sending the girls? And why they treasure the boys and not the girls? First of all, the women eventually they marry out. They will not stay at home. So for the parents, they feel who is going to take care of the family? The boys will take care of the family. It's very practical calculation. Of course, it's not in their conscious, but historically gradually developed those kind of value.
If you have a family with a boy and a girl and you only have a few $100s a year, the family has to make a decision on whether to send the boy to school or the girl to school. And it is a matter of survival instinct to send the boy to school because the boy eventually will stay home and take care of the whole family's livelihood. And if the boy gets that education and can run the farm, they can survive. Whereas if they send the girl to school instead of the boy, the girl will be married to another village or to another family, and she'll be spending most of her time with that other family. So it's a matter of practicality. And they do have to, because of their financial strain, they have to make that decision a lot of times, whether to send this child or that child. And if it has to choose between the sexes, it's always the boy that gets to go to school. Okay, there are other reasons for girls not going to school. And I think some part of it has to do with access. If there is no school within the village, then if the parents really want to send the children to school, they have to wait till they are old enough to walk that long distance in very hilly, isolated roads. And if you wait till the girl is 10 or 12-year-old, actually by 10 or 12, and it's their custom, the girls have already become very helpful in family chores. So you have to give up a helpful hand to send them to school.
14岁哦，14岁应该是5年级了，5年级了，4年级。
要是记者。
啊，那你呢？你几年级
3年级。
3年级就11岁，对不对？
对。
11岁，啊，11岁。喜不喜欢读书？
喜欢。
喜欢啊。
The local people, they are very much, pay a lot of value in education, but because those kind of objective, situation, so they can afford it, to really send both boys and girls to the school.
To many parents, if you ask them, hey, we support your girl to go to school, do you want to send her to school? Oh, sure, because if they can learn how to read all the measures when they go to the market, they will not be cheated. Or, looking for a toilet, they know which one is men's toilet, women's toilet. To them, the education means something very practical.
But the curriculum, the thing they teach in the school, not relevant. Like, think about a peasant. His daily life is do the farming, raising the pigs, hard labor. But the textbook is city model. It's academic oriented. It's very difficult in math, very difficult in Chinese literature. You don't see the relevancy to your own life. It's very difficult for the people in this kind of situation to learn those kind of content. I think that's one of the major reasons for many students in their school to get very low grades, no matter how hard they study. I'll give you an example. I remember I went to a very small classroom. Okay? Then we saw the students, they don't have chair, they just sit on the floor. It's third floor. The teacher was teaching the math problem, second grade. Say a number is 2 digits, with the unit digit is 2 and the 10th digit is 5. Another 2-digit number, say unit digit is 1 and the 10th digit is 3. What is the difference between these two numbers?